This week on the Harris Highlights podcast, there's a major shakeup in some of our Heisman predictions. We break down the midseason report of the Pac-12 Conference, and we have our biggest Q&A to date. All this and more on this week's episode of the Harris Highlights podcast. Ba 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 na 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 na.
Coming to you live from the PBS Sound Studio on the 6th floor of the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications building in downtown Phoenix, this is episode 3 of the Harris Highlights Show. And man, was that a mouthful. I'm like out of breath from just saying that right now. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I am doing well.
Marvelous.
Awesome. Fantastic.
The Dodgers are going to Washington on Thursday, so I'm going to be a little more happy than I would have been if they would have lost. So,
me too.
Luckily for you guys, you're going to have a happy Blake and Josh today.
Yay.
All right.
Nothing's better than a happy BJ, right?
I'm always happy. Oh my gosh.
Brady,
it's going to be edited out.
Brady, this is a show for children. I mean, just kidding. Who gives a shit?
It's also a podcast.
All right. A very, very eventful weekend of college football happened this week that maybe shaped up the rest of the season for better, maybe some say for worse. I'm just going to get this out. I'm just going to get this way right now. Houston lost, guys. Houston lost to Navy. How are you feeling about that?
I am not okay.
And Navy's ranked now. Come on.
That is a stretch.
Yes, they beat a very good football team, but come on, they're ranked at 25. That's a stretch. They're 4-1, but are they deserving of that 25 ranking?
No,
not at all.
The one thing I'm in absolute awe about from this past weekend was how the hell that Notre Dame game got played in sideways rain, in 60, 70 mile an hour winds.
It's raining sideways.
Damn near. I don't know why that game was played. That was the worst conditions of any football game I've ever seen in my life, and I think the NCAA was stupid for letting that game happen.
They were stupid for letting it happen, but were you not entertained while watching that?
All right.
That was probably one of the greatest games I've ever watched.
I was not entertained.
It reminded me of my childhood because playing football, there was one game where it was an absolute downpour. This is like second grade tackle football. It was great. And after the game, it was pouring down rain. And we won, so we just ran and slid in all the mud.
Which is what they did.
And so watching that took me back to my childhood. It was really funny,
It really
though.
took me back to my childhood.
What,
Because
having
it rains
Notre-
a lot,
having
like
Notre
Seattle,
Dame
and all my teams lose. So there you go.
Way to bring it home.
Let's stay on topic with this. I like this. I thought it was a great game. I thought it was very fun to watch. And
He snapped the ball sideways.
Hey, it is all entertaining. And the reason why I thought it was so fun was because it was just smash mouth football. Because there was the elements. I understand why you thought the game should not be played, but there was the elements. There was hard hitting. There were mistakes. It wasn't perfect football, but they were grinding it out until the end, which is why I think NC State was deserving of the victory. That was a game where I couldn't really complain for too many things for Notre Dame. I had picked Notre Dame to win that game. Lyle had picked Notre Dame. I think Brady did too.
I did.
But we had all picked Notre Dame to win that game. But
Except for Spencer and I.
yeah, that's wonderful. There's a reason I left that out, Blake. But no, I mean, I don't really have any complaints after missing that pick because it was just entertaining to watch and it was a lot of fun. I mean, Lyle thinks otherwise.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm going to scrutinize Brian Kelly a little bit because I'm watching him scream at his center for that. I mean, it was a pretty bad snap, but you're out there playing in what's, almost a hurricane.
No. It was a hurricane.
Well, it didn't quite. I mean, it didn't. It didn't get all the way up to North Carolina.
He called him out in the press conference.
Yeah, he called him out in the press conference, and he's out there screaming at him on the sidelines. And it's like, why? He's 19, 20, and he's trying to play a game in a hurricane. Like, give him a break.
And your season's already lost. So
Exactly.
yeah, there's no way. But
if anyone should be getting any scrutiny, it's Brian Kelly.
Exactly.
yeah, he'll probably by the next show he won't have a job. But
Hopefully.
Well, hang on. Someone had commented, I think it was on last week's show in the comments, after we had aired
Thank you
it,
for all the
someone-
comments, by the way, guys.
Yeah, there were a lot. But someone said, like, what are the chances Deshaun Kaiser's still up for a Heisman or even a Maxwell? And I want to touch on that right now and say there is absolutely no chance in this universe that he is up for a Maxwell or a Heisman Trophy.
Not
Am I
that-
wrong in saying that?
Gary Johnson has a better chance of becoming president
Gary
than Sean
Johnson
Kaiser does of winning the Heisman. I'm sorry, it's
Politics,
facts.
I like
It's
it.
facts.
Hey, on the first podcast I talked about, I wanted to give it to him pretty badly. He's not getting.
No way.
But hey, he's still in line to be a potential number 1 pick in the NFL draft. So we got
First
that
round, or
going.
maybe not number 1
But
overall.
speaking
I
of-
did- I said a couple people did say that he could go number 1
A
overall.
lot of people like him. A lot of people would pick him first.
Speaking about laughable topics, Tennessee did not move at 9, which I think is the biggest load of BS in the rankings
that
this
is
week.
blasphemous to me.
Because it was a close
Thanks,
game.
Stephen A.
It's a great game, but
It was a great
It
game
was
that
a
went into
great
overtime,
game.
but Texas A&M dominated that entire game. And regardless of how you lose, where you lose, when you lose, if you lose a game, there should be no reason you don't fall back. Even if they would have fallen to 10, I'd be okay with it because okay, they fell. But the fact they didn't move from 9, am I the only one that thinks that's terrible?
no. See, if they had fallen one spot, just one spot, I would have no complaints. But the fact that they went into Kyle Field and they lost to a very good football team in a very good game, and they didn't lose a single spot, it's still a loss. You're a top 10 team and you lost. You do not deserve to hold that same ranking anymore. I just don't think so. Because if we were to see a number 2 lose to a number 1, would that number 2 team still sit in that number 2 spot? Say if number 3 won, and if number 4 won, and if number 5 won, they would drop at least one spot. Am I
Look at
right to
Louisville.
say that?
Look at Louisville.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
But we got to remember that the AP poll isn't, it's just a placeholder for now. We got to wait till the actual college football
As it
rankings
is.
come out.
It
in,
is a
what it, 2 weeks
placeholder.
now?
Yeah, I don't trust the AP poll, mainly because I don't see Arizona State in there. But what was it? The coaches poll has us at 25.
And USA Today has
So
has us at 24.
whatever polls those are, I will take an opinion towards because they know college football and put us in.
I'm one to admit when I'm wrong, guys. This past week, Ohio State didn't let up a rushing touchdown to my Indiana
But they were
Hoosiers.
damn close.
They were damn close. I'll tell you that. They put up a fight. IU only let up 38 points to Ohio State, who was favored by 36 points. So that's not bad.
They were in it. Like
They
it was
were in
the
the
fourth
game.
quarter. They could
Yeah.
have scored a touchdown to make it like I think 7.
Yeah,
8 points
it was
maybe?
7, but then IU threw an interception, and then the game got totally turned around. But I'm one to admit when I'm wrong. They didn't let up a rushing touchdown. I didn't think it would happen anyways.
Hey, but
Hey,
Indiana proved
I'm
that
optimistic.
they're not the team that everyone thinks they are. They're better than that.
Hell
what
yes.
about Maryland? I had said that Maryland might be able to
Oh, yeah.
not win the Big Ten, not a chance, but at least compete with some high level teams. But they pretty much got smacked around physically by
Penn State.
by Penn State, as we
Yeah.
saw Will Likely get absolutely flat.
Also, really quick, what are you guys' opinion on this whole kicker thing? How this kicker was laying everyone out, and now once
He
players
laid out one guy.
No, he's laid out a few.
It's been a few.
It's been a few. It's been
More
about
than
2 or
one,
3.
yeah.
Yeah. But so now everyone's going after him, and they're getting ejected.
Yeah.
picking on
They're
him.
targeting calls, is what they are.
They're tying goals. But I
exactly.
just want to say this guy must be up for an Academy Award at the next Oscars because he is giving a performance of his career.
He's selling it.
This guy's like 300 something pounds. He gets hit barely, and he's on the ground not moving as if some train just hit him. Like sure, I mean these calls are uncalled for, but I mean
There have been
I
a
think
few.
they're deserving.
There have been a few, or a couple of them. Maybe it was only one where it looked like this guy went full out, laid out the kicker, give him a penalty, do what you got to do. But there was one this weekend. I don't know if it was this weekend or if it was last weekend. But this guy got grazed on the shoulder.
That was last weekend.
That was last week, because this weekend was the one where he got just leveled by the guy on UMD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he got leveled by the guy on Maryland. I understand it. Do what you got to do. Last weekend, he got grazed on the shoulder, and he went, oh, like sniper, and he went down hard. It was like, come on. I'm not watching a soccer game here. I'm a soccer
wrong
fan,
football.
I can say that.
Wrong football.
Well, I'm just going over these rankings just really quickly. Florida State's at 14. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were 23rd last week, and they moved up 9 spots after a close win to the U. Spencer, I know you were pulling for the U on this one.
I was pulling
What
for
happened,
you.
bro? What? I mean, I know a blocked
was a
PAT
blocked
happened, but what
extra
happened,
kick.
dude? Why couldn't they run away with this game?
I'm just surprised that Florida State's still ranked 14th.
That's very generous.
That
Very
they're
generous.
still above Miami.
Well, I mean, I think they should be above Miami since
above
they beat
Miami,
them.
but I don't know. I might be biased towards Miami or whatever it may be, but Miami's stuck in there.
Yeah.
like as much as I was rooting for Miami and I followed Miami a lot and I like them a lot as a football team as an organization, it's sad. It really is to just lose to their rival as in Florida State.
I was going to bring this up as well. I don't think Florida State should have jumped up 9. No, sorry. I'm sorry. It was.
No, they jumped up 9 spots.
9 spots, yeah. For beating a Miami team that, again, I didn't think was the strongest of teams in this top 25. And Florida State only won by 1 point. So they jump up 9 spots, which I wasn't a huge fan of.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows how, it's our opinion. What do we know? We're college students. We just think the AP poll might be a little biased, just a smidge. But hey, guys, just really quickly though, I called this last weekend. Western Michigan at number 24. Shout out to the Broncos, their first time that they've ever been ranked in the top 25.
Really?
So if we have any fellow Western Michigan people out there, we just want to say congratulations.
Slow clap for you.
Now the question is, guys, if Western Michigan wins out, are we talking potential?
No.
Oh, come on now, guys.
We might see another repeat of that NIU because obviously it was Northern Illinois, right?
Yeah,
It
with
was.
Jordan Lynch.
With Jordan Lynch. So I think we could see another thing like that where they get just clobbered in the bowl game.
Also,
But I
though,
don't
really,
think
really
they'll go
quickly
to a
though, to bring up
major
the NIU game because I did see a comment. I'm pretty sure actually it was on one of my videos somewhere. Who knows? It probably was. But that NIU FSU game, NIU was only down by 7 going into the fourth quarter. They lost by 21, but they were down 7 going into the fourth quarter, which is something everyone forgets about. So
but think about this.
They were in it.
One of the best sayings in football, not only football, in sports, it's not about how you start, it's
About
about how you finish.
I know.
Yeah, and they competed with was it Ohio State last year, didn't they?
Yeah. Maybe it was 2 years ago. Who knows?
Yeah, but going back to Western Michigan, I just never know what to personally feel about teams like this because they played absolutely nobody. Western Michigan, they're in a very, very weak conference. So, is it really fair to put them in the top 25? I know they're 5-0, but is it really fair to put them there when they haven't played anybody? I think the same thing about Boise State at 15 is they haven't played anybody either, but they're 5-0. So it's
I was actually just going to touch on the Boise State, but this Western Michigan team right now looks a lot like the Boise State team from 06 or 07. They're actually it had to have been 06, right? Because they're celebrating their 10-year anniversary of beating OU this weekend in the Fiesta Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And first off, shout out to them for the uniforms. Those look fantastic going
Bringing
into
them
this
back.
week's game.
One of the best plays I can remember in college football.
yeah, one of the
history.
best.
One of the
I
best
can-
games in college
Oh
football.
yeah, but honestly, they just remind me a lot of this Boise State team. However, Boise State went on to become quite relevant after that 2006-2007 campaign, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit since Kellen Moore left. But I just don't see that Western Michigan team really cracking in and starting to recruit at more of an elite level and maybe compete the same way that Boise State has or had. But
To me, it's just fun. It's fun to have.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
And I love having Navy at 25, although I don't think they deserve it. I like seeing them there.
yeah.
It's just fun to have new teams in the 25. It's fun to have a spice of something.
I still don't understand why Arizona State is not getting any love, though. I'm
Ooh,
trying
I
to put
say
all
same on
bias. Trying to put all bias.
No,
aside.
all biased in. All biased in. But no, the top 25, like I said, it means nothing until the playoff rankings come out, which I think
Yeah,
is in
of
only
course.
3 weeks.
Yes.
It's coming up soon.
Coming
So
up soon.
once that comes, that'll be a good portion of the show we can discuss because those are the rankings that matter. But going on from the top 25, we do want to talk about, because we haven't really touched on it in the last few weeks, our top 4 for the college football playoff. So now, as we keep mentioning, these mean nothing. These are just our predictions. We're not experts, although we classify ourselves as them. Guys, what are your top 4 after 6 weeks of college football?
I remember this question last week, and I said Houston, if they went undefeated, they'd be there, and they didn't. So that's a change in mine.
So what are yours, Spencer?
I'm gonna say Alabama. I'll have Alabama at 1, Ohio State with 2, Clemson with 3, Washington.
Washington at 4.
Washington
All right.
at 4.
That's a good 4. Brady, what's your top 4?
Oof. I like that Washington at 4. I think they really deserve to be up there now after what they did this past week and what they've been doing. Jake Browning is the real deal. I know we've talked about this last week a little bit. If he's in that Heisman candidacy at all, I think he's in the top 5 now for Heisman candidates. But I think Alabama number 1. I think Michigan number 2. Washington at 4. And I'm a toss up for 3. I think Louisville could maintain that 3 spot.
Really?
Yeah.
So I didn't hear what.
Either Louisville or Clemson.
Did you say Ohio State at all?
I said Ohio State at 2.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you said Michigan at 2.
I did?
Yeah.
I'm in Ohio State. Screw me, right?
So is Michigan not in your top 4?
Michigan's number 5 for me.
Number 5?
Yeah.
All right,
I
so
think it's
yours
gonna-
was, let me get this straight. It was Bama, Ohio State,
Bama, Ohio State,
Clemson,
Clemson.
Washington.
Yes.
Oh,
Bama
okay.
number 1.
Bama at 1.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Clemson. I'm going to put them at 4. Follow that up with Ohio State. I like what they're doing.
Ohio State at 3.
Ohio State at 3.
Wow.
And at number
Wow.
2, I'm going to put Michigan. That might be a little bit more of a personal choice because I just watch a lot more of Michigan than I do Ohio State. I just find the Wolverines very entertaining to watch. I've always have. I really like the talent that the Wolverines have, and I think that matchup with the Buckeyes that I believe is at the Horseshoe this year. It is, correct?
It
Oh,
is.
that's gonna be a great game. But at number 1, I've finally I've known all along, but I'm really starting to accept it and put it out there. I don't think anyone's going to beat Bama this year. Since week 1, I have been saying,
No, Chattanooga!
Chattanooga.
Don't
sleep on
Don't
Chattanooga.
sleep on Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
I'm telling you, that November matchup, they are preparing. They're not. If they can lose the next 3 or 4 games, I won't be surprised because they're not going to be putting any effort into it because they're waiting for that game against Bama. They're going to go down to Tuscaloosa
That better be
and
one of
they
our
are
pick'ems.
going to upset them. I'm telling you, it's happening.
yeah, but I don't see anyone that can beat them. And frankly, I have been saying since day one, doesn't matter how good Bama is, doesn't matter how good UW is, someone is going to beat them along the road. Someone's going to beat Michigan, someone's going to beat Ohio State because that's just what it seems like happens every single year. So for Bama, I thought it was going to be Ole Miss. And
Didn't happen.
it could happen this week with Tennessee, but I don't see it happening again. It's at Tennessee, correct? Or it's in Tuscaloosa.
No, it's at Tennessee.
Okay, so it's at Tennessee. So that it's still a possibility, but honestly, I'm gonna say it. I think Bama can repeat. Just the way I've been watching them, I've been thinking about it all weekend long. They are without a doubt the number 1 team in the country.
So you're going to have 2 Big Ten teams
I
there.
am. As of
4
right now,
teams
I am.
are in the top 10 from the Big Ten.
Yes.
Yeah.
First time since 1960.
Right.
And for those of you that say Big Ten isn't a good conference,
It's the best conference right now in college
Right
football.
now, it's the
For sure.
best.
All right, Lyle, who are your top 4 teams?
My top 4 hasn't changed from last week. I've still got Ohio State at 1. Again, I think Bama's very good, and they will be my number 1 if in these next 2 weeks, they prove to me they're the real deal against Tennessee and A&M. And then I have Ohio State at 1 and Bama at 2. I still have UW at 3, and like I mentioned last week, the difference between them and Michigan for me is I think Michigan has a great defense, but when it comes to the offensive side of the ball against good teams, I can't see them, doing enough to get them over the hill, just like against Wisconsin. I mean, they just squeaked out that win. It was 14-7. And
Remember
again,
when
good
Michigan
defense.
dropped 78 on the Rutgers?
Yeah.
But that's
The
Rutgers.
crazy
but they
story
played
about that.
Wisconsin, and they put up 14.
sorry to interrupt you guys, but did you hear the story about the Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Ann Arbor, Michigan?
I don't know
that
the
they
story.
said you didn't know the story?
I don't know the story.
They said that before the game, the margin of victory, if Michigan won, the margin of victory, that's how much they would discount everyone's food at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse,
Oh, man.
where an 18-ounce steak costs $46.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm doing the math.
they said they would give
It's already done in my head.
78% discount.
Just kidding.
But after the game, they came out with like, all right, they scored 78 points. They beat them by 78. We'll give you a 50% discount.
What was the
And
final
Jim,
score?
78 to nothing.
0.
Was it really?
And Jim Harbaugh was in there, I believe, tonight at Ruth's Chris, and he thanked the manager personally for all the respect and everything that he gives to this program.
And he had
So-
a nice meal with a nice glass of milk. That is, that's
So
Jim
that-
Harbaugh right
what
there.
a guy.
That
Winning
would've-
off the field and winning on the field.
That would have been a $9 steak.
Man.
at Ruth's Chris.
Eight.
But hey, drinks and tips were not included.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the
but-
Chardonnay, that's why he went with the milk. He just wanted the
you
cheaper
know what?
drink.
He's
That's
a
what it
smart
was.
man. Those $8 khakis are really getting to him.
Those $8 khakis.
But to wrap it up, yeah, that's why I have UW at 3 is because they get it done from both sides of the ball every week. I mean,
Man,
you
we
just
would've
saw them
thought.
play Oregon. They beat them by 51 points, like Brady mentioned. Jake Browning, real deal. And then I still got Clemson at 4.
All right. Now my top 4 is quite different than yours. You probably, I mean, like I said, criticize me, love
Zane
me,
Gonzalez, Zane Gonzalez.
do everything you
Zane
want.
Gonzalez, Zane
Number
Gonzalez.
1 is the obvious choice with Alabama because pretty much until they're tested, until they win a game by like less than 14, they're going to be the best team in the country. Number 2, I got to go with Clemson. I mean, they've had some iffy wins, but I think Louisville is a really, really good team, and the fact they were able to beat them, it says a lot. But in the upcoming weeks, we're going to see if they can be tested, if they can win out, if they're the real deal. At number 3, I'm with Lyle. I got Washington. For me, it was a toss-up with them and Michigan, but I feel putting up 70 at Autzen, regardless if Oregon's good or not, is a very impressive feat. I can't remember the last time that's been done. When the last time Oregon lost by that much at home was. So I got to go with Washington at 3. And at 4, I got to go with Michigan. That 78-point win just really proved that they're here to stay. And as he was mentioning as well, the win over Wisconsin, although it was only 14-7, Wisconsin's a good team. And Ohio State, I mean, they look just absolutely dumb. I mean, Indiana was a tough game. I think that was probably their closest game of the season. And I love the Hoosiers, but
How could you not?
I mean, how can you not love the Hoosiers? But, I mean, Ohio State has a very, very big game this week against Wisconsin, so that'll determine a lot. But as of right now, I got to go with Bama, Clemson, Washington, and Michigan.
Wow.
I like that.
Moving on, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, our Heisman top 5s have shaken, at least mine is shaken up completely. Do you guys want me to lead off with my top 5?
Yes,
or
please.
All right.
After you, good sir.
Coming in at number 5, he finally makes it into the top 5 after much speculation, after everyone just begging for him to make it into the top 5, especially Brady. Jabril Peppers in at number 5. I think I've been getting a lot of questions asking if this is the year a defensive player can win the Heisman. I think yes, on one condition. Michigan State, man, we'll talk about them later. Yikes. If Michigan goes undefeated, I think Jabril he'll definitely be a finalist. Can he win? We'll see. But if there's any year for a defensive player to win the Heisman, this is the year with Jabril. At number 4, Deshaun Watson. They had a good game against Boston College. But that's Boston College. I don't really know. But he's still going to be there at the end of the year. At number 3, I got criticized for this last week. I don't know why I did. I'm giving it to Jake Browning. He threw 8 touchdowns this week against an Oregon defense at Autzen Stadium.
It was absolutely terrible, by the way.
I don't care. 8 touchdowns is impressive. I think he's the real deal. And what was it? We heard some stat that he threw. Well, wow, what was that he threw in high school? He threw 90.
Don't trust it if it was on TBS.
TBF.
You guys didn't understand that? Major League Baseball, the false... Whatever, never mind.
I think in high school his senior
They've had like 5 of those now.
Anyway, gentlemen.
Sorry, blank.
I think Jake Browning threw 90 touchdowns his senior year of high school, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Holy hell.
So I mean, I think this guy's legit, and he's only a sophomore.
That broke Peyton Manning's record. If he
It did, and he's only a sophomore, so he's only going to continue to develop. Watch out for Jake Browning. At number 2, JT Barrett. This guy continues to amaze. He's clutch when he needs. Like Ohio State, that game, they needed him, and he stepped up when need be. So I got to go with JT Barrett at number 2. And for number 1, as always, it's not changed. I'm going with Arizona State kicker, Zane Gonzalez. Or should I say NCAA record holder, Zane Gonzalez. For those of you who don't know, and I don't know how you can, because I'm sure it was on SportsCenter, ESPN breaking news the next morning.
It was everywhere.
Zane Gonzalez is the new NCAA record holder for most career field goals. Congrats, Zane.
89.
89, and Spencer and I were the only ones that were there to witness it in person, and it was magnificent. Zane came over at the end of the game, and he came into the stands and was hugging us, and
he didn't.
I wish he was. We love you, Zane. But no, I have a new nickname for us, guys. We're officially the Zaniacs.
Yeah.
So
I love that name.
I'm clapping for that, too.
There we go. We're the Zaniacs. One day, Zane. We love Zane.
We're making a sign for the next game.
We're in front of a live studio audience for this episode, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you didn't know.
That's where
But,
the applause is coming from.
Zane Gonzalez continues to prove he's the best kicker in the game. But in all seriousness, he is actually my number 1.
It's actually really sad now that I'm thinking about it, because I wasn't there to see that, and as much as we've hyped him up, it's just kind of sad that I wasn't there to see
For
that.
the record.
For the record. And it's not that I went home for fall break. I was here.
He was
were
on
working.
board ops for the game.
Yeah, I was working in studio, working the pregame, halftime, and postgame show for the ASU broadcast, and like I'm watching the game, and I'm 2 plays behind on the TV, and it was so sad.
Now, Josh, we're not
was
trying to
watch-
make the viewers feel sorry for you
I was at
because they
home.
do that
so
every
sad.
they do that every week for you, feeling sorry for you.
I was at home. I was in bed watching the game. I didn't have to wait in line for the bathroom. I didn't have to get up early for a ticket. It was great.
but
I
in
saw
all,
Zane break the record, so I don't know about you, but I'm happy.
oh, I'm great. I'm really happy. But in all seriousness, though, number 1, Lamar Jackson. He's the real deal. I don't think anyone can beat him as of now. Guys, thoughts? Heisman's? Let's go.
Josh?
Josh Schaefer for Heisman.
All right, my top 5. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start off with 5.
Well, that's usually how the top 5
Hey,
works.
I'm gonna smack the
You
hell.
start out with number 5.
I'm the one controlling all the board here, so I could turn your mic off anytime I want to, Blake.
Do it.
No, it's my mic too.
All right, so I'm gonna go number 5, Jake Browning. I think, yes, Washington's showed a lot, but I think because he's a sophomore, he still has more room to improve. So I don't think he will win it this year. I think it's just the age thing. Number 4 will be Jabril Peppers. He could be, I say, the first quote unquote defensive player since Charles Woodson, also from Michigan, to win the Heisman. How cool would that be, though? My number 3 is Deshaun Watson. I think he's sort of faded out the last couple of weeks. Number 2, JT Barrett, and then number 1, obviously, Josh Schaefer, without a doubt. Lamar Jackson. It's not even questioning.
I'm gonna go 1 through 5. I'm gonna go opposite.
You're doing it wrong. Do it the right way.
Just let him
Spencer.
do his own thing.
So
Make
number
him happy.
1, of course, is Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, you already know JT Barrett. 3 with Jake Browning. I like
you.
him.
I
like
love him.
He played well, and he's leading the Washington offense. He's doing fantastic right now. 4, Deshaun Watson, and 5 with Jabril Peppers.
So pretty much you just copied my top 5.
No.
I still love you. Lyle?
Okay, so at 5, despite having a tough loss this week, I still have Greg Ward at 5. I still think he's.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah,
I like
kind
it.
of an off week, but I don't.
That
think
takes
he's-
guts.
I don't think he's deserving to drop all the way out of the top 5 yet, considering I had him at 3 last week. At number 4, got Jake Browning from UW. I mean, like you guys all mentioned already, he's got 8 touchdowns already. He's been on fire this season. He's been leading the Huskies, and I think he's going to continue to do so. At number 3, at least so far, I mean, I'm the only one to have this guy again, and I don't know why people keep ignoring it, but Trevor Knight at 3.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say.
Oh,
Trevor.
okay.
Ooh,
I
yes.
got Trevor Knight at 3, who
Wow.
had
You missed your
5
chance, Josh.
I was hoping you'd come back to me.
Yeah, so he had 5 touchdowns this week in the game against Tennessee, and he just continues to lead them. I mean, A&M's still undefeated, and people are still giving this guy no attention. He was my sleeper, on our first podcast, and I still have faith in him now. And then, just like the consensus, I got JT Barrett at 2 and Lamar at 1.
So the way that I'm gonna take this is I'm
Brady
gonna start
raised
off.
his hand, Josh.
I
Let him
haven't
speak.
gone yet. Come on.
I'm just gonna. All right, I'll go. I'll give you my information after you go. Go ahead, Josh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
God,
See,
we
that
are
is what
5-year-olds.
cool roommates
We
do
are-
for each other.
We are children.
Shh, I was speaking. So basically, I'm gonna go with what Lyle said. I'm gonna have Trevor Knight at 5, leading an undefeated Aggies team in College Station. I like Trevor Knight. 4, I'm gonna go with Deshaun Watson. He's starting to look a little bit more impressive. Actually, sorry, I have him at 3. At 4, I have Jabril Peppers. He's very talented. There were a lot of questions about him having a defensive player in the Heisman running. I like it. I like him at 4, Deshaun Watson at 3, and then in consensus, JT Barrett 2, and Lamar Jackson 1. There are a few players, though, that I think, in my opinion, are still just on the outside, and that would be Jake Browning. I think Josh Dobbs fell a little bit, but I've still been impressed with him. And, and Greg Ward. I still like Greg Ward,
Yeah.
even though he fell.
All right, well, very good picks. Yeah, Brady, yes.
We were talking about the Penn State kicker earlier.
Oh, yes. What do
And
you
the
have on
hit
him?
from Maryland? Well,
Let's see what we got.
Maryland coach DJ Durkin.
Durkin?
Yes, DJ Durkin. It's like something from SpongeBob. Has suspended linebacker Isaiah Davis for this week's game against Minnesota because of his late hit on Penn State kicker Joey Julius.
You see who this kicker's doing to everyone?
By the way, he's 258 pounds.
Damn! Take a hit, kicker. If you're listening to the podcast, which I'm sure you are because it's a nationally known podcast, learn how to take a damn hit, okay? Stop making a... He's flopping. He's pulling a LeBron James. Like he's getting touch and he's going down like the Hindenburg. I'm sorry. Was it too soon?
Not soon enough. Not
Too
soon enough.
How long have you been working on that?
On a lighter note, let's talk about our Pac-12 rankings, shall we? All right, now, gentlemen, I don't really want to go too in-depth on our rankings. Just quickly name them.
Because we got that big Q&A coming up.
Yeah, we got a big Q&A coming on up, and our Uni Watch as well, which is a popular
yes.
thing as well. So we're pretty much just going to go around, Each one of us is going to go from 12 to 9. Say 12 to 9. And no, you cannot look at my rankings because they are my rankings.
I just wanted to. God.
I put lots of research into them. So 12 to 9, and then we'll go 8 to 5, and then
Hate you.
4, 3, 2, 1. Sound good?
Lord, this takes a while. All right,
Sound
let's
good?
go.
No, it'll be fast.
Kill it, Blake.
All right, at number 12, I got Oregon. At number 11, Arizona. At number 10, UCLA. And at number 9, Oregon State.
Josh.
I am going to go with Oregon State at 12, and we'll continue that Oregon trend with Oregon at 11, Arizona at 10. Really not impressed by them at all. Stanford, I'm putting them at 9. Stanford has been very unimpressive. And then after that, I think I'm going to have to go with UCLA. I still think they're a good football team, but UCLA.
Josh, I did say 12 to 9, not 12 to 8.
No, wait.
Yep.
You
Okay.
said 4 teams already.
Oh, I did?
All right.
It's okay. He's just
Sorry,
excited.
sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
My 12 is going to have to be Oregon. They're playing like pardon my language, they're playing like a shit show. Then I'm going to stick with the Oregon trend like Josh did with Oregon State. Then I'm going to have to go U of A, Arizona, and then probably California up there as well
Okay.
at 9.
Started off with Oregon. Let me down. Even though I was told to be a fan this week, I can't do it. Next,
Shot.
Second shot.
Oregon State. Third, probably U of A. And then I don't like Stanford. I don't like Stanford. They've underperformed week in and week out. That's why they're low.
Lyle?
Okay, so I got Oregon State at 12. I got Arizona at 11. I have Oregon at 10, and then I have Wazoo at 9.
Well, there's one thing I did notice with everyone that did catch my attention. None of you were giving Oregon State any love. They just beat Cal, who is, a pretty good team.
Offensively.
Offensively. So you don't think that win against Cal really proved anything for Oregon State? You think they're still one of the worser teams in the Pac-12?
I do.
Oh.
No doubt.
Well, don't worry, Oregon State. I still have faith in you guys. All right, so now let's go from our 8 to 5. At number 8, I got Cal, who you guys were just talking ill of. I think they're a good team. Number 7, Stanford. I'm still giving them this kind of high ranking, although the last 2 weeks they have looked god-awful, and I've been saying they've been overhyped for weeks, but I still think they got that talent level, especially with McCaffrey, who might not even play this weekend. Number 6, Washington State. Washington State, they're coming out of nowhere. And number 5, I got Colorado.
So for me at 8, spoiler alert from earlier, UCLA. I still think they're a very good football team, but they just, if you hit Josh Rosen, hit him a couple times, he's going to get flustered, and that happened this week, and he choked a little bit. Still threw for 400 yards, so good for him. But I'm going to have UCLA at 8. After that, I'm going to have Cal. I still like the offense a lot. I really like Davis Webb, but the defense just frankly isn't there for me. After that, Colorado. So Colorado, I've liked. Little bit interesting. They had the number 1 defense in the Pac-12, I think, going into the USC
They
game.
did.
So that was impressive. They held USC, especially in the opposite, on their own within their own 30. So that was good. And then after that, I have Washington State.
Brady?
I'm going to go with my number 8 is going to be Stanford, which I think a lot of us are going to have them pretty high. And then I'm going to have to go with UCLA at 7. I'm going to say USC at 6, and then Washington State at 5.
Stanford in that list. USC in that list.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't think they've showed enough yet to be higher.
Fair. I'm going to start off with Cal,
Mm-hmm.
then UCLA. Record speaks for itself. Then Washington State, and then Colorado. I like
Okay.
the way Colorado's playing. Even if they did get blown out, even if they did lose by USC, they still had a couple good games where they've proven what they're worth.
Very good.
Agreed.
So I have Cal at 8. I think, they're solid in some aspects, but all in all, I don't think they have much outside of Chad Hansen and Davis Webb. And then I got UCLA at 7, Stanford at 6. I know they've dropped off a little lately, but still think they have the potential to rebound. I don't know if they will, but we'll see. And then I've got Colorado at 5.
Now for our top 4, I'll lead it off. I have USC at number 4. I think they're on the come up. I think they're going to finish strong. We'll only see how it turns out. And this one kills me, guys. This one kills me. I don't know how I'm doing this, but I somehow am. At number 3, I'm going with Arizona State. I hate to say it. I know we're the best team in the country, but I got to give them the number 3 spot. Number 2, I got to give it to Utah. They look strong. It's going to be a great game when we play them next month. It's going to be a blackout Thursday night football. You guys should definitely check it out when it's on. And number 1, I mean, there's no question who number 1 is. Washington Huskies. Woof.
You Blake, you dirty dog.
Oh, clever. So starting off with my number 4, okay. So for me, my top, or my, I would say 2 through 3 right here, kind of a toss-up, and the reason is because of how they fared head-to-head. I'm gonna go with Arizona State at 4. I've really liked
You
the
traitor.
offense. I've really liked the offense. Of course, with the injuries to the quarterback situation, kind of unfortunate. But I'm gonna go with Arizona State at 4. In front of them at number 3, I have USC. SC's definitely on the come up, and I like the way that they've been playing since I've had Sam Darnold at quarterback. I have Utah at 2, mainly because of their win against SC, because that was a great football game. There were times when SC should have been able to get on the board, but Utah just stays strong and is able to make that comeback on the last drive, so I take Utah at 2. And then, of course, I'm flashing the dub. There's no doubt. Not a chance that Washington's not number 1.
Josh hopping on the UW train finally.
Oh,
It's
It's not
hell
a train.
no.
It's not a train.
Hell no.
It's a fact.
That's
Yeah, it's
true.
not, I'm not hopping on anything. I'm just saying what I've seen.
All right, Brady.
You're still going to lose to someone.
Top 4.
My top
Arizona
4.
State. Duh.
I have Colorado at 4. I think
Okay.
they've really slipped over these past couple of weeks, and I don't know how they'll face up against ASU in this upcoming week. ASU at 3, Utah at 2, and then obviously UW, Washington at
Who'd
number
you
1.
have it for?
Colorado.
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 Yeah.
I'm going to have USC at 4. Giving the Trojans some credit. They've won their good amount of games now, and they are on the come up. Extremely athletic, fast. You're going to see that being played out when they play more Pac-12 teams. Next is Arizona State. I think they might move up to second in the Pac-12 when they do beat Colorado this week.
Keyword when.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Did I just
What was
confuse
that?
you?
I don't know. I just got like
Just give us your top 2.
yeah,
Too
and
many
then
shots.
and Utah, and then Washington, no question.
Right.
So mine's, about the same as everybody else's. I've got USC at 4. They've looked much, much better over the last couple of weeks in their play. 2 and 3 was a really tough toss-up for me, but I did put ASU at 3, and then Utah at 2. I mean, their strength of schedule is about the same, but I feel like Utah's just got a little bit of a stronger defense. And then, yeah, it's no question, UW at 1. No doubt about it.
All right, well, there you have it, our Pac-12 rankings. If you guys want to see more rankings in the future, comment below if you want to see the Big 10, the Big 12, the Pac-12, the SEC. Hell, if you want to see the American Conference or the MAC ranked, we'll do that. Just let us know in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do. But guys, really quickly, we're going to go to a new segment which everyone seemed to like last week, Uni Watch. Now, we don't need any explanations really because we do have to keep the show rolling. So I'm just going to... Okay, we also agreed we can't vote on Arizona State, even though
They were beautiful.
their
As
uniforms
we
were
want
great.
to.
But we want to make it a little more fair. So guys, just name your favorite uniform. I'll put a nice little picture of what they looked like, and we'll just move on quickly. Josh?
I'm going to go with Colorado. They came into the Coliseum and looked good with those silver helmets.
Yes, they did. Brady?
I'm going Rutgers with those Dark Knight Rises uniforms with that matte black with the slight gloss knight on the helmet. Those are pretty sick uniforms.
And that was the best part of the game for Rutgers.
The only positive thing they had.
I loved Washington State's with the gray, with the contrast of the red. Love that.
The white logo, too,
Yes.
on the helmet. Good.
I really like Kansas uniforms this week, and especially the red helmets.
Kansas.
I'm going to throw out one more that I don't think a lot of us saw. Were those Oklahoma State Cowboys uniforms? Their helmets had the cowboy mascot on it in a chrome with the bright orange.
Ooh, those
really
are
cool
nice.
uniforms, really cool helmets. So those are up there as well.
For mine, I'm one for throwback unis. I'm not going to go with the one you guys think I'm going to go with. The U, which were very, very nice looking. But I'm going to go with University of Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
Those were nice.
Can we talk about Oregon's uniforms very briefly?
Yeah, very briefly, what the hell were they wearing? I understand
I'll
the
make
message
this
behind
quick.
them.
They're
but
bad.
They were bad. And uni,
is
I
why
can
I
tell you they're
don't
never
like
going to wear
Oregon.
those uniforms
This
again.
is why I don't like Oregon. Oregon has the nice designs, but the color scheme makes absolutely no sense. I thought I was watching California out
and
there.
uni, yeah, my mom texted me. She was watching the Oregon game, and she was like, "Which team's Oregon?"
Shout out Mrs. Harris.
Shout out to Mama Harris Highlights. I love you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. But guys, it's time for the great part of the show we all have come to know and love. It is time for the Q&A. Now this is going to be the reason why we said big Q&A is because, like I said, normally I post on YouTube or Twitter just telling you to ask us questions, and normally we get about, I think last week was the most we'd ever gotten. That was about 40. Well, guys, it's been up for 2 hours, and as of right now, we have 111 comments.
Oh man, you guys are
20
awesome.
more than
We're
like an hour ago,
popular.
too.
So now I do, like I said, since there are a lot of questions, I want to try to cover as many as we can. So let's try to keep it to yes or no. Josh, if there's anything relating to USC,
Forget it.
forget it. Or did you guys make it quick?
about it.
But we're gonna try to
I'll make it quick, sorry.
We're gonna try to rapid fire these,
Yes.
and because it's all about the fans, it's all about the viewers. We live to serve you guys. So without further ado, let's get underway. I'm gonna give this one to Josh first off. Do you think that if USC had started Sam Darnold week 1, USC would have a different record? Yes or no? Really quick.
I'm going to go with yes. And
Oh, right,
Wait,
perfect.
no, I
We're
need
here.
to
Go.
touch on this. Let me explain. Okay, sorry. I was hitting you in the chest there. Alabama might have been a closer game, but no chance USC wins. Stanford, the play calling was absolutely horrendous, and SC was still in that game. So if Sam Darnold was in it, could he have evaded some pressure? Yes, I think SC wins that game. Utah, that was a great game. USC couldn't capitalize, but other than the Stanford game, no.
So the answer to the question is no.
The answer to the question
Or
is
yes.
Yes, because if Darnold played the Stanford game, I see a USC win.
All right. Lyle kind of touched about this earlier. Is Houston's playoff hopes done? And is Greg Ward done now that Houston lost? I'm going to go to Lyle really quick. Yes or no? What do you think?
Greg Ward's not done. Houston, we'll have to see. It depends on the Louisville game.
True. Guys, are they done?
Houston done.
I think Houston's done.
I think Houston's done. I think they can still go to a good bowl game, but playoff-wise, they're done. Ward is still in there.
Brady?
I could agree with you guys on that one. I think Ward's still in there. He has a better chance of getting more publicity than this team does.
Here's a really good one. Should North Dakota State be in the top 25? They've been receiving votes ever since the Iowa game. I'm just going to start this off. No. I feel like they have no reason getting votes.
I don't
They
think
have
they're
no
even
reason.
allowed to be, too, because they're FCS.
Okay, they're a great team. I love that they're getting the recognition they deserve. But, I mean, come on. They're in the FCS. They're number 1 ranked there. They shouldn't be getting votes taken away from other teams that are far more deserving, just like the Indiana Hoosiers. Guys, yes or no, should they be getting votes?
No, but this is a team I'd like to see in the FBS.
That
I think
would-
it's a possibility.
True.
Yeah.
And if they were, they would play some better teams. Maybe not every game like in Iowa, but I think every game kind of.
They could
you
be
know.
a good team in that Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, and if by then they're deserving of a 25 ranking, just like Boise State 10 years ago, just like Western Michigan, then yes. But as of right now, no.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
I say same. Exactly so.
High five. All right. Great success.
Here's a really good question. Do you think ASU will win the Pac-12 South? Hashtag forks up.
Ooh, like that forks
I
up.
could get behind that hashtag.
It's a very original hashtag.
It's a great hashtag.
I'm not hating on it, but I think, yes, they could.
This one, I mean, everyone knows, but let's just, like I said, yes or no. I think they can win the Pac-12. I don't know if they will, but there's definitely that potential there.
It's the Pac-12. Anything can happen, so yes.
If they beat Colorado this week, yes.
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 Is Oregon declining, or is it just an off year for them?
They are 100% declining. Mark Helfrich is on the hot seat if I am the athletic director at UO. They are declining.
Ditto.
Declining for sure.
Yeah, they're on a bad run.
Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson?
Oh, man. If you're looking at the teams, then Clemson. But right now, Lamar Jackson.
It's all about the team that you're on, so I'm going to have to say Deshaun Watson because he has a better support staff around him.
I'm going to do LJ.
I go Watson on this one.
Does Baylor have a chance to go undefeated and make it to the playoff?
Does Baylor have a chance to go undefeated and make it to the playoff? Yes, they do, because there's no defense in the Big 12. But playoff, could they? Yes. Will they? No.
I don't think there's any chance they do that. Not a chance.
I think that if they do go undefeated, I don't see why not. But same with Brady, I don't think they will.
I think not having a conference championship will hurt
Yes.
them.
that is
That'll be the big thing.
They need to add some teams into that conference, some good teams like a Houston or a Boise State.
Lyle, what's your opinion on
North
Baylor?
North
Can
Dakota
they do
State?
it?
We need to talk about that eventually.
I don't think they do, but you know what? Shout out to Seth Russell, who's really been leading them since coming back from that injury last year, who hasn't been talked about much.
This guy asked 2 questions, and they are both great questions. The first the first question I should say is ASU kicker Zane Gonzalez a shoo-in for the Heisman? Yes.
A boot in for the Heisman.
A boot in on
Like a
that.
Tron in for the Heisman.
And he also wants to know, are the UTSA Roadrunners America's one true team?
They are the Dallas Cowboys of the NCAA.
I feel like America needs a college football team to root for, and why not the UTSA Roadrunners?
Or Chattanooga.
Meet me.
Or Chattanooga.
Don't
sleep on Chattanooga. They're coming. They're resting. Oh, I'm kidding. Could someone just make that like a ringtone, please? Can Virginia Tech be a competitor in the ACC? Last week I gave them crap for being number 25, but they went and they showed that they can play. Guys, yes or no? Is Virginia Tech for real? Can they be competitive?
They're good, but no.
They have talent. They just don't know how to use it.
I'm gonna say yeah, they can.
They can't.
Like Brady said,
They
they have
can.
talent, but they're not quite there yet.
You sound so sad.
I can see them doing it, which is why I'm saying that they were able to manhandle North Carolina,
Yeah.
and that's why they're ranked now. And I can see them utilizing their options that they have and just taking it to the big house.
Oh, well, there you go.
Not Michigan, but you get the idea.
Now, this next question is a little special because it comes from a family relative of one of our fellow guys. Spencer, I think this comes from your brother, and he wants to know if Washington...
Spencer doesn't have a brother.
I don't have a brother.
All right, well,
They
okay,
share the last name, not the first name. Oh my god! You are in college.
it says Spencer Goldstein. Okay, sorry, I'm just so involved in the show.
I do like
and-
his name, though.
Will Washington keep the success going through multiple seasons, or are they a one-hit wonder?
Ooh.
I think what we saw from them last year. What was their record last year?
7 and 5.
7 and 5.
Like that.
Nothing impressive.
Should have been 6 and 6.
Yeah, but I think that they have a really good underclass recruiting class. So I think this could carry on for the next 2 years. 2. I give it 2.
I'm not gonna say 1. I'm gonna say this is their year. Next year, I think they fall off a little bit. I still think they lose at some point this year. Not saying that to be a hater. I see it because it's gonna happen.
Okay.
But 2 years.
Guys?
I think they could be more than a one-hit wonder because most of their starters are sophomores and juniors, and it's really a lot about the coaching. To be honest, Chris Peterson, who we haven't talked about when we talked about UW a lot on the
Won
show,
everywhere.
he is a great coach. He's 5-2 in bowl games when he was at Boise State, and he's 2-0 in BCS bowls. I mean, he's really coached that team up. It took him a couple years to finally get them to where they need to be, but I see the potential for them to, maybe not go 12-0 every year, but, have a chance to be pretty successful every year in the Pac-12.
What implications could the LSU-Florida game have in the SEC if it is not played? Number one, to talk about the LSU-Florida thing, first of all, that game should have been played because it was the weather in Gainesville was beautiful this weekend.
Players were very upset.
They were upset about that.
I would be too.
Regardless of how the standings look now, they need to figure out a way to play this game, whether it's in a neutral site, this game has to be played.
I think if it comes to the end of the season and the game actually matters, to the actual standings of the conference, I think it will be played. But the Florida athletic director said there really is no talk of rescheduling it.
I
As
think
of
it
now.
needs to be
Yeah.
played. Well, the one thing, I don't think this is a fantastic idea, but I did see a tweet saying both teams do have some sort of a cupcake game still on their schedule. So I heard that why not pay the checks to the schools they're scheduled with, have a nice day, pay the schools, and reschedule for that week.
I heard that too.
Is that a good idea? I believe it's the same week, too.
Yeah,
Is it a good idea? Kind of. Is it fair? Not really.
I think that's week 9 is what I saw it was.
Yeah,
9.
I believe it's week 9. But I remember it's also
Let's be real, they'd both be W's for those teams anyways.
Yeah. The way LSU's schedule is, I think it's something like they would have 4 games in a span of 20 days or maybe I think it was 19 days or something where their schedule is just so compact. That might be an issue, but I think the game should be played. I like this next one. What do you guys think about West Virginia? Also, I wasn't expecting the show to be this much fun. Thank you. Kudos, West Virginia is undefeated. They have a big game this week. I haven't seen enough of West Virginia this year to really give good analysis on them. They look good from the highlights I've seen. They do have some players on the team who I do follow and do like. Whether or not they can keep this up, we'll see. But just know that we're all rooting for West Virginia. Let's go for a few more questions right now. Here's someone that we have not talked about that is performing really, really well. Patrick Mahomes. Is he a potential Heisman sleeper, yes or no?
Unfortunately, no. I like him, though.
I don't see it.
No, I'm gonna say no.
Not quite.
He's talented.
Is Auburn a legitimate team to keep an eye on?
In the SEC, yes. On the national scale, no.
Retweet. Agree with you on
Yep.
that one.
I'm gonna say no in general.
No.
Spencer Sonier1 wants to know, can I be on the show? Yes, you can, Spencer. Yes, you can.
You technically are. Oh wait. Well,
Okay.
I'm just going off our first
He is
name.
on the show.
I'm going to ask one more question, and this is just only Blake's can answer this because you're
Oh,
our host,
God.
and it'd be nice for our listeners to learn more about the host. The self-dubbed king of sports, named Sports King, high praise right there, buddy. What are 3 things that we most likely don't know about you?
Oh, man. 3 things you most likely don't know about me. This is going to be hard. All right. 1, I was a band geek. I played the trumpet in high school, and I was in my marching band. Laugh all you want, but I was a stud. I was one of the cool guys in band, and it was a great time. Number 2, I once met Adam Sandler after he was taking a shit at Disneyland.
Meeting Richard Dreyfuss at your
I went into the bathroom. I didn't know he was in there, and there was like a bunch of people just chilling in the bathroom. Like, okay, what in the world? So I go to the urinal. I'm peeing. I'm done, and out from the stall comes Adam Sandler, and he just goes, "Can a man take a shit in peace around here?" And I'm like, okay. And I'm washing my hands, and he comes over, and he's legit next to me washing his hands too. But I don't want to say anything, so I get
Sandler.
I get the towel and I walk out, and I was with a girl and her sister. I'm like, Adam Sandler is in the bathroom right now, and she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. So he comes out of the bathroom, and everyone's trying to get a photo with him, but the guy just wants to leave, and he walks right past me, and I just go, I love you, Adam. And as he walks past me, he just pats me on the back and goes, I love you too, bud. Now, I don't know how this has to do with something about me, but I just thought this was a really cool story to tell.
One more.
Something else about me. Oh, man, this is really tough. Being in LA, I know it's crazy, but I'm a Clippers fan.
Yikes.
Are you a bandwagon Clippers?
To sum it up really quickly, growing up in LA, being an only child, my parents wanted to take me to sports games, and Laker tickets were too expensive, and Clippers sucked, so they brought me to a lot of Clipper games, and I've been a fan ever since. I can name the entire 2003, 2004 roster, whatever.
2006. I got
2006. I love the Clippers. But those are, I mean, on the spot, it's tough to name any interesting facts about me, but those are some ones I got.
He was also voted Little League's most inspirational player.
Oh, yeah, if you go to my Twitter, Instagram bios, or my Tinder bio, it says I was voted Little League's most inspirational player, and I was the 5th grade class president, both of which are true facts.
All right, now we're going to get back to the college football. I'm going to ask one more question. For
Also,
you.
really quickly, though, Joseph Powell wants to know, will Boston College ever be good?
No.
I hope you say yes. Joseph, they'll be good. Don't
Yes.
you worry.
Don't worry, bud. Yes.
Anything for you.
Gentlemen, you hear that bell, right?
Yeah.
Ding.
No, not
Did it
you,
look at his
Spencer.
wings?
Not you, Spencer. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the Pick'em.
Yay.
Everyone's favorite segment of the show, the Pick'em. The part of the show where we all make our picks and are completely wrong, unless you're Spencer and I. And once again, made great picks last week, made great upsets. So, guys, I hope you guys did your research this week.
Wait. Do we have an update on the standings?
We do have an update on the standings.
Well, what are they?
In first place, for the second week in a row, yours truly, with 15 points. Now making a comeback, Lyle with 12. He was the only one that picked Texas A&M to win that game.
That helped.
So that was a lucky pick for him, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Tied with 10 points are Josh and Spencer. And,
last place, Spencer!
and coming in at last place is Brady at, oh God. I don't know whose that
Gotta
was.
clear
How
the
many,
screen.
how many points?
Brady, you have 9 points.
Okay, all right.
She's only down by 1, so hopefully this week, guys, we can all.
Right.
Yeah, not success.
So this week we can all make some comebacks and take your host down. Because I want
gonna happen.
I want some competition, guys. Come on now.
It's
Let's
gonna
do it.
happen.
All right, guys. The first game of the week. Number 20, West Virginia at Texas Tech.
Texas Tech's gonna ball, and you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna take Mahomes and the Red Raiders.
I was going to agree with you. Mahomes is a great quarterback. He's still putting up crazy big numbers. West Virginia's secondary has been struggling. They're a run-first defense mentality, so that air raid offense at Texas Tech is going to come out victorious at home.
As much as I like Mahomes, with even if he did fall off a bit with the Heisman contention, I still think Western Virginia and their dominance is going to pull through.
I would agree with you guys on Texas Tech if their defense could stop anybody. So I'm going to go with West Virginia on this one.
Major shout out to Deshaun Johnson and Braden Fajoko, my two friends on Texas Tech. They've been playing great this year, so don't give them anything about that defense. Although that defense has been terrible, but at home I like Texas Tech's offense. I think they're going to get this dub. But West Virginia, I'm honestly not going to be surprised if they win because they have looked good. But my pick is Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, their win makes ASU's schedule look a little better.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
All right, up next we have North Carolina at number 16, Miami, the U. Spencer, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be in Miami's favor, and I think they're going to come out swinging. Yeah,
Just save our time and tell us that you're going to have them winning.
Shot.
Miami, you guys are no fun.
Yes, we are.
We're a fun bunch of guys. Anyways,
Anywho.
let's not touch on that. I thought Miami might struggle last week. I did have them winning, though. But this week, we've seen what they can do against a good football team. Although they lost, I would say it is not a super bad loss for them. So I'm going to take Miami.
North Carolina jumped to 17 this past week in the rankings, lost, and then dropped out again. And I think Miami's been pretty consistent. I'm going with you in this one.
Again, I don't think Miami's that strong, and I think UNC bounces back from that loss last week against Virginia Tech, and I think they take the win over Miami this week.
And also, shout out to Virginia Tech for getting that win because I was the only one that had them winning that game. And it was a
Gosh darn it, Hokies.
This is honestly a really tough game. North Carolina, Miami. I'm going to go with the U at home. Number 10, Nebraska at Indiana. Brady, hand the sweatshirt.
I just realized that I had this shirt on.
The sweatshirt has come off, and the Indiana Hoosiers University shirt is being represented.
I wore this on the plane this morning.
Wow, it looks beautiful. Brady, I'm going to let you start
It's
this
a
off.
great shirt.
Who's getting the win this
As
weekend?
much as I would love to root for the glory of old IU, there's not a chance in this world. Even though this week's homecoming, they're wearing those awesome pinstripe or the candy stripe uniforms. That the candy stripe shoulders, the red, all red, almost looks like a color rush. They're really cool. That's probably going to be my unique pick for next week. Just a little heads up to you guys.
Spoilers.
Just kidding. Nebraska's going to win this one. They're too good for IU.
Huskers.
Nebraska.
Nebraska, but very close. I've been impressed with Indiana.
Really?
You did say that you don't think Indiana stands a chance. You said the same thing against Michigan State. And they beat Michigan State.
Hey, prove me wrong, Hoosiers.
That was a game, but unfortunately I do have to go with Nebraska on this one. Number 1, Alabama at number 9, Tennessee.
Tennessee might put up a fight, but roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
As much as I'd love to see Tennessee Magic, I'd still say roll Tide with Alabama.
Bama.
Got to go with Bama on this one as well. But I think Tennessee might make it interesting. Number 24, Western Michigan, ranked for the first time at Akron. Who's 4-2? Guys.
Western Michigan.
Western Michigan continues.
I have a friend that goes to Akron. Granted, she's a swimmer. But Western Michigan on this one. Sorry, Zips.
Gotta go with Western Michigan.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Western Michigan as well. I think they're going to go 6-0. Number 12, Ole Miss at number 22, Arkansas.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a very good game, just like it was last year, but I'm going to go with the safe pick, in my opinion, and say the Ole Miss Rebels.
Arkansas playing at home. I'm going to go with Arkansas.
Ole Miss is the best two-loss team in the country, and I'm going to say Ole Miss.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I like Ole Miss in this game.
I like home field advantage, so I'm going to go with Arkansas on this one. Now, this could have been considered worst of the worst for this week.
It's my worst of the worst.
Stanford at Notre Dame. Oh, boy, is this going to be an interesting matchup.
No idea what I'm gonna
Who
pick.
gets the win,
You
guys?
said it's at Notre Dame?
Yeah.
It's at Notre Dame.
Oh, God.
Grant you, Christian McCaffrey might not play.
Hell, Brian Kelly and his pompous ass, whatever he's going to do with his crap team they has this year. I say they're going to win this one just to give Notre Dame a little bit of hope. The luck of the Irish, you never know.
Yeah.
Notre Dame is a piece of garbage that's on fire. Stanford.
Oh, okay.
Shots.
I have.
Wait, that was-
I thought he was gonna say-
That's yeah.
Stanford. Spencer picks Stanford.
I don't like either team. I think this might be one of the worst games of the year, to be totally honest. But, oh man, I think I'm going to have to go with the Irish. No. I'm going to go with the Cardinal. Stanford.
I may be a huge Notre Dame fan, but I'm not Lou Holtz. Stanford is slightly better than Notre Dame. Notre Dame has been abysmal.
The
this
only
season.
reason I picked Notre Dame was just because of the questionability of Christian McCaffrey.
Fair enough. Even still, like Texas Tech, to be honest, their defense hasn't stopped anybody this year. And with or without McCaffrey, I honestly think Stanford wins this game.
I'm just going to take a huge gamble here in the chance McCaffrey does not play. So I'm going to roll with Notre Dame, boys. Up next, probably the best game of the week. Number 2, Ohio State at number 8, Wisconsin.
Well, Wisconsin's going to be rocking, but I'm going to have to go with the Buckeyes.
JT Barrett is going to light up Wisconsin. Ohio State.
Wisconsin's going to be jumping around, but I think Ohio State's going to win this one.
I like the Buckeyes, but again, very close. Wisconsin has a great defense.
Everyone here is picking Ohio State?
And I'm just
OH.
gonna pick Wisconsin.
Oh.
I'm not saying
Well-
IO. You can say it as much as you want. I'm not saying IO.
You just did, like, twice.
Damn it.
I like interesting, and I like having a lot on the line.
I also live dangerously.
And I also live dangerously.
Austin Powers.
I'm going with Wisconsin with the upset.
That's a bold move.
Let's see how it pays off, but I'm going with Wisconsin. And now, for
Has anyone noticed the movie references we drop? At least like 15 an episode.
if you do, good for you.
Half of them are the same movies, though.
And now for, without a doubt, the worst matchup of the week.
The worst of the worst.
We have 1-5 Florida Atlantic at the 1-4 Marshall Herd.
You don't see Florida Atlantic getting a movie made about them, so I'm going to go Marshall. 'Cause why
We
the-
are
Marshall.
Florida Atlantic.
What?
Florida Atlantic. Just because I wanted to say that.
Wow.
Go. Are they Owls? Are they the Owls?
The Owls,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, go Owls. Who? Spence?
I think whichever team has a higher number of points up on the scoreboard at the end of the game will win this game.
I do too.
That's the most insightful thing I think anyone said.
And my analysis on this one. Alfred Morris went to Florida Atlantic. Randy Moss went to Marshall. And because Randy Moss is a better player, I'm going to take Marshall in this
Oh
game.
my god.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I only know Florida Atlantic because the one Viner I follow, Eric Dunn. Shout out to him. With that, I know that Florida Atlantic is trash, so I'm gonna say Marshall.
If one of these teams gets it in the end zone, they will get 6 points.
But most of the
Now, the
time, if
question
the referee
is-
throws a flag and it's not wrong, they'll be penalized for
And the
it.
question is, which team can get it in the end zone more times? So now, Florida Atlantic has 5 losses. Marshall has 4 losses. I'm going with Marshall in this one. I like home field advantage. Now, usually we do only 10 games a week, but a little special thing this week. Josh, Brady, and I are going to be actually traveling to Tucson, Arizona this weekend to see the mighty Trojans take on the Arizona Wildcats. Guys, who wins that game?
Fight on.
I'm going to be working with the Trojan Football Radio Network. I'm going to go with the Trojans.
I don't know, Lyle. I heard you might go. Is that still a possibility? You don't know yet? I know I'm not going because
Kelsey's going.
I don't like either team. I'm gonna say SC though.
Fight on,
Lyle?
USC.
I like USC in this game.
2 weeks in a
Right
row
on.
I'm picking SC.
I
What
like
is happening
USC
to
as
me?
well. I'll be seeing my boy Paul McClure finally play in person. But I got to go with Trojans on this one. And now for the final game of the week, as we do in every show, we end it with Arizona State. They will be traveling to Boulder, Colorado to take on the Colorado Buffaloes. Guys,
What a beautiful city, by the way.
Oh, gorgeous.
Oh.
I think Colorado's favorited by
13
13 and a half points, which is
That's
a
a stretch.
very stretch. Unless Manny
It's
Wilkins
because-
doesn't play, then it makes kind of sense.
It's the quarterback problem.
We'll
what it is
see,
for ACU.
guys. Can we win this game? Are we going to win this game? Who do you have winning this game?
One name. I think we all know who it is.
Yes, we do.
And if you don't think that this man's going to lead our team to victory, like he has, what is it, 5 games this year already?
Kalen Balazs?
Close. Not Manny Wilkins. Zane Gonzalez.
Zane Gonzalez.
No, but all kidding aside, I think ASU, coming off a very good win against UCLA this past week, Josh Rosen, we've talked about one of the top quarterbacks, if not one of the best quarterbacks in the Pac-12 or the country. He may not be the smartest, but he's one of the best. We have to admit that. But I think ASU, granted they're 13-point favorites, I think they're going to win this game.
Guys?
I think
Who else?
it's definitely going to depend on the quarterback situation with Manny Wilkins, but I'm going to have to say Arizona State for sure.
Arizona State.
Zane Gonzalez, game-winning field goal, Devils.
Assuming Manny Wilkins plays, I like the Sun Devils in this game.
Before the USC-Colorado game, I was going to pick Colorado to beat us. I honestly thought they were a good team, but the way they played in that USC game, I believe you know, I don't think they're as good as everyone made them out to be. I still think they're a good team, and they're definitely better, but I can see us going into Boulder and taking them down. All bias aside, I'm going to go with the Sun Devils on this one. They're going to take it.
So is everyone taking Arizona State?
So I think there's
Yes.
a reason we're all taking Arizona State, and I think it's because Colorado is showing signs of weaknesses. But I could see this game. This is one of the first games I think I've seen all year where we could see an overtime game.
Ooh.
I can see that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah, it
love
wouldn't be at home.
Darn.
Dang it.
Zane Gonzalez, game winner.
Well,
I think that's been your prediction every week.
Of course it is. Zane Gonzalez for Heisman.
Zane Gonzalez will win the Heisman. But with the pick'ems wrapping up, that means our show is wrapping up as well. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we do greatly appreciate it. And Spencer is giving me a point right now.
I do, because I do have to give a solid shout out.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
Because during the week, I got an Instagram
Really
message.
quickly, last week, because we do know Spencer is a fan of every team apparently, we said on the show, if you can think of a team that you want Spencer to root for, please hit him up and let him know who
And
needs a new fan.
Those
And
DMs
so-
are still open, by the way.
Of course.
Spencer, who are you the newest fan of?
This is from Elijah Dabkis. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but I am now a follower of. He says the Oregon Ducks because they are struggling as they are, and this is a D3 team, Pacific Lutheran University. You just gained one more fan.
Congratulations,
The one and
Pacific.
only fan.
The one. Hey, man.
Probably.
Whoa, easy now. We might have some viewers that
You
go to
never know.
that university.
Elijah, that one's for you, bud. I got you covered.
You guys are
Right.
like full conversations, aren't you?
Well, once
Also,
again,
your
if
dog
there's
is
a team that you would like
adorable.
to have an additional fan, Spencer's DMs are always open 24/7.
Can I DM him?
At
You're more than welcome to DM him.
SPX09. SPX09.
He needs some new teams. And what would you guys like to say?
We do have one sad announcement, and that is that the Louisiana State University mascot, Mike the Tiger, did pass away either last night or this morning. I think it's upsetting because he's one of the most iconic mascots in college football, and one of the reasons why I like him so much is because he's a real animal, and they show him off and show him to the world why they're named the Tigers, because of such a magnificent animal. And it's just upsetting to see something that means so much to a university pass away. So from all of us here at Harris Highlights Podcast, we want to send our condolences. And again, we want to wish the best to everyone on the East Coast, sending our best wishes to California people with that earthquake that might be coming up, sending our best wishes. But, hopefully, again, this weekend, we can all watch some good college football.
We all love talking college football. All of our Twitters are in the bio. Hit us up anytime you want, and hopefully you guys respond to our viewers. I don't know what you guys are up to over there, but and as I mentioned as well, the show is on SoundCloud. There was actually a guy that commented on this video last week saying he was listening to the show while he was at the gym.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there we go, guys. We're motivation for people to get in shape.
You can
Good
do
for
it.
us.
You can do it.
But
I think we don't have pictures of us the entire time because that'd be even more motivation to get in shape.
dear
Oh,
Lord.
God, that's rude. I am offended.
You're a solid 97 pounds, Josh.
Before these two get in a huge argument, once again, from all of us at the Harris Highlights Show, I'm Blake. Have an amazing week, everyone. Go Devils. Let's hope for some good games, and we'll see you all next week for episode number 4.
This has been fun.
Later! Woo!